So once you've pulled your lamination out of the mold, you'll notice typically, unless you've scraped it while the glue was still tacky, the glue tends to form pretty sharp beads along the edge. You don't have to knock off those edges any particular way. You could take it to the belt sander, the disc sander. If you have one of those portable electric planers at home, you could even run that over there. For me, I'm going to just be using my cabinet scraper. And what I've done is I've used my cam clamps. You could also use the wood screw clamps at school to clamp the piece, and then I've clamped those clamps to my bench, so that way my piece is nice and supported with minimal vibration. And I'm just gonna try to scrape off all those large bits of glue so that way I don't potentially nick one of the teeth of my joiner. So one of the easiest and most versatile way to create a clean edge on your lamination is the exact same way with a piece of solid wood, which is go to the joiner and help use the fence as a reference. So I've scraped off all the big chunks of glue on one edge of my lamination. I've left my laminations long on both sides just in case I do have any extra bites from the joiner. And I took the guard off the joiner. This is probably one of the only times where I would condone taking the guard off the joiner. And I've given myself a decent amount of surface area on the joiner bed, so that way I always have something, some reference face to press into as I'm spinning this across the joiner blade. And I'm making sure that at no point am I ever running my hands over the joiner, because this is a kind of unusual cut. I don't want to really take any additional risks. So I'm going to practice a few times without the joiner running, passing it to myself from the in-feed table to the out-feed table in a smooth, controlled motion. And for the two flats of the curve, I can kind of bump off of the fence, make sure that I'm still holding it at 90 degrees. And once I feel confident, then I can turn on the joiner and take my cut. So as you can see, I got a nice clean edge off of the joiner. I can check to make sure that the entire surface is planar by placing it on a machine bed and kind of poking the piece to see if there's any part that rises up when I apply pressure to it. You might have seen that there's a little bit of awkwardness as I was feeding it onto the off-feed table for the very end of the cut because I was working around the tripod. So I'm going to take one more shot flattening an edge with the tripod angled from the off-feed table instead, just so that you can see a bit more of a natural cut.